Hello, Namaskar, Assalamu Alaikum, and welcome to another episode of Rainbow Flavors of Ramadan, powered by Al Baker Chucky Fresh Atta. My name is Gaurav. नाम तो सुना होगा. Now in the previous episode we made you meet one home chef from the UAE and इन्होंने आपको सिखाई कुछ बढ़िया recipes for your iftar and suhoor. And आपको तो पता है कोई भी चीज़ मुझे सिर्फ एक बार करने में मज़ा नहीं आता. We got to do it at least twice. तो आज के episode में भी we are bringing to you one such home chef who's very talented, who has some great knowledge of food and who's ready to share it with all of you. आज आपके लिए बनाई जाएंगी कुछ इटालियन और ग्रीक रेसिपीज. तो अगर आप तैयार हैं, it's time to welcome Alisha Guzdar.
Today I'm making herb chicken braised in milk. This takes me back to the lovely lunches my grandma used to make for us. One pot wonders which were uncomplicated, satisfying and superbly delicious. This reminds me of my grandma. Here's wishing my grandma a happy Sunday and endless love. Different days require different ways of eating. And during iftar, I would like to cook for you something that's more mild, something that's more flavorful, at the same time comforting, something that you can cook with the whole family and something that you'll enjoy eating. Cooking is a really relaxing experience for me. And when I cook for my family, I enjoy cooking something that's comforting, something that everyone can eat and something that everyone will enjoy cooking together. Today I'm making something which is much of a family recipe for me, something that my grandmother taught me and something that I really enjoy making every Sunday for lunch. So we'll start off with some chicken. I'm marinating the chicken with Shan Himalayan pink salt, and I really find Himalayan pink salt not only healthy but it's full of useful minerals and it really gives a unique flavor to the dish. So just salt according to what you require. And for some seasoning, some hint of spice, I use the Shan freshly cracked pepper. It's really more flavorful than the other peppers I've tried. And since I've got my gloves on, I'm getting in there and really marinating the chicken well. As you remember, this is very mildly spiced. I don't use too many spices just to keep it more easy to digest during the time of iftar. And to add another zing and oomph to this dish, I'm adding a Shan mango chutney. Just 1 tablespoon of Shan mango chutney really brings out the taste of the subcontinent. The Shan mango chutney is the authentic and traditional flavor of the subcontinent. And really the mangoes take me back to the summer holidays that I used to really enjoy eating mangoes. Get your hands in dirty and really marinate this chicken well. To get the flavors really singing to each other, you need a little oil, and here I'm using the Noor Sun Olive Oil. Just a little oil and that's all you need. I was really looking for an oil that brings together both sunflower and olive. The taste of the Mediterranean really goes well with the rosemary. And with the Noor Sun Olive Oil, that just did the trick for this recipe. While the chicken is marinating, I'm using some Noor Sun Olive Oil, about 4 tablespoons, and butter. I've got with me about 100 grams of butter. You can use a little more or a little less depending on how extravagantly you want to cook. As the bubbles of the butter start and you can really see and smell the waft of lovely buttery chicken and a hint of the tangy mango as well. I've raised the temperature of the pan and just allowing the chicken to lightly brown. Simultaneously, the butter is just basted over the chicken. This technique of braising is the adding of both kinds of heat. One in the pan, which is a direct and a wet heat, and then I'll be putting this in the oven later on for a more drier heat. As you can see, the chicken is getting a lovely brown hue. This golden brown hue will just be accentuated more when we put this in the oven. For about 8 minutes or so, we'll continue to braise the chicken here in the pan. While the chicken is braising, I'll go on to my garlic. I've got about 7 to 8 cloves of garlic. I want to actually chop it because it will just come into our mouth and our teeth, so we'll just leave it just smashed to infuse the flavor. We add these cloves of garlic as well to the chicken. I also have with me a lovely fragrant rosemary that it's really going to add a lovely unique Mediterranean dimension to this dish. So you've got the Indian subcontinent meeting the Mediterranean here. I can really smell the lovely rosemary, the garlic, and what's gone in the background is the tangy mango. To brighten up the dish, we are adding some lemon zest. I've zested about 2 lemons. I'm adding some earthiness, some warm, familiar, comforting cinnamon, just about 2 sticks. And the marrying of these flavors reminds me of the time when my grandma used to cook Sunday lunch for us. It was always a big family affair and brings back such beautiful memories. Food is for me a very relaxing experience. While the chicken is cooking in this lovely jacuzzi of lemon, butter, garlic and cinnamon, I'm going to add a hint of magic, my magic ingredient, evaporated milk. By adding evaporated milk, I'm adding magic to this recipe. It really brings out the creaminess of the chicken and something that both kids and everyone basically enjoys. It gives it a lovely mild flavor and at the same time it's not as heavy as cream. With all of us looking at our waistlines, this is definitely a healthier option. I'll put the chicken in an oven for about 30 minutes and by the end of that period, the sauce would have become really concentrated, the flavors would have enhanced and the lemon and rosemary would have finally got married. I've preheated the oven to about 190 degrees. Let's take a break. See you on the other side. Welcome back to Flavors of Ramadan Season 7. Let's continue where we had left off. While my chicken is baking, let me get started on my Greek honey cheesecake. I start my Greek honey cheesecake by crumbling up these delightful digestive biscuits from Britannia. They are delicious and light and they add a lovely, crumbly, at the same time light and flavorful texture to my Greek cheesecake. You just take a biscuit and crumble it with your hands. I would need about 10 biscuits to start with. I've chosen the Britannia Digestive Light because it's flavorful and at the same time so light. It adds a lovely crumbly texture to my Greek honey cheesecake. To these digestive crumbs, I'll add some melted butter. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter will be just enough for the cheesecake. The butter is melted and added to the digestive biscuits. The smell of melted butter takes me back to my childhood where we used to have butter with our biscuits every tea time. What you're looking for here is the consistency of wet sand. We are going to place about 2 tablespoons of these wet, moist breadcrumbs into the base of a cheesecake mold. Once you find that the base is firm and about 1/4 inch thick, you can leave it to set aside. Now we will start with our cheese mixture. For the cheese mixture, I'm using cream cheese. I've softened it so that it's really thawed. Lemon juice, just to cut the heaviness of the cheese. A small tablespoon of vanilla extract. If it's soft, you can use a hand blender or a whisk as you see easy. I'm just gently whisking the cream cheese and adding a little icing sugar. This is optional. My main sweetening ingredient is honey. Cheesecakes are so diverse. The cheese seems to absorb any flavor you add, and here I have added honey, giving it a luscious, rich texture and flavor. Cheesecakes are a wonderful source of protein and vitamin A, and something that the whole family will love. Here I have spooned about 3 to 4 tablespoons of the cheese mixture, and we'll keep some for the topping that I have for this cheesecake. Now I'll be setting these aside in the fridge. While the cheesecake is setting, let's start on our topping for the cheesecake. For the topping, we'll take a generous amount of honey, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, and heat it gently while we infuse delicious, fresh, fragrant thyme. Give it a gentle stir for not more than 20 seconds. And once you can smell the thyme, you know it's ready. We'll set this aside and wait for our cheesecake to be ready. The honey and thyme is ready, and now let's get plating our chicken dish. This chicken goes really well with some mashed potatoes and some wilted spinach. I have some mashed potato. Mashed potato is usually a fan. Kids love mashed potato. The dish is light and at the same time the perfect dish for our iftar menu. You want to break your Ramadan fast with something that's easy to digest, something that's healthy as well. Let's get our chicken from the oven. The chicken just smells divine. It's got a beautiful caramelized color. Let's get plated. And I'll spoon in some of this delicious white sauce over the chicken. It's rich, concentrated, lemony deliciousness. Our herb chicken braised in milk is ready. Let's check on the cheesecake now. My gorgeous Greek honey cheesecakes are ready. Let's decorate them. We start off by crumbling some feta cheese over the cheesecakes. The hint of the salty feta just changes the total flavor and taste of these cheesecakes. I've got some chopped pistachios, adding a lovely crunchy, nutty and beautiful green color, and for a little bit of something oriental, because after all it's iftar, we have some lightly toasted sesame seeds. I've got some fresh raspberries, and that pop of color really brings out the gorgeousness of these cheesecakes. You can use any berry. Lastly, we drizzle these cheesecakes with honey that we had heated with thyme. You can really go free with this and make it as indulgent as you want. So here we have for you a herb chicken braised in milk and a gorgeous Greek honey cheesecake. Both these dishes are super light and flavorful, at the same time so healthy. Welcome to my iftar. Wishing you all Ramadan Kareem.
To make herbed chicken braised in milk, marinate the chicken with salt, add black pepper powder, mango chutney and mix well. Add some oil in the marination. Add oil and butter in a pan. Add chicken and braise till light brown. Take garlic, smash, add in the chicken. Add rosemary to the chicken. Add lemon zests, cinnamon sticks and evaporated milk. Now at 190 degrees, preheat the oven and bake the chicken. Plate the chicken with mashed potatoes and semi-sauteed spinach.